For decades, paleontologists have labored in sedimentary rock, piecing together fragments of vanished worlds. But in recent years, a controversial new field has emerged, one that doesn't merely study extinction, but reverses it. Welcome to the front lines of de-extinction science. Before we begin this expedition into deep time, a quick word. If you appreciate the research that makes these journeys possible, consider subscribing. It takes just a second, but that small gesture helps keep these expeditions going. Now, let us descend into the fossil record. Our journey begins 300 million years ago in shallow Paleozoic seas. Here, we encounter Kabutops colonia, the dome fossil organism. Resembling an oversized horseshoe crab, this arthropod measured 0.5 meters across. Its carapace reinforced with compound calcium structures that have preserved beautifully in shale deposits. The creature's most remarkable feature: retractable scythe-like appendages capable of extending from beneath its shell to dismember prey. Fossil evidence suggests these were coated in a keratin-chitin composite sharper than modern surgical steel. Its descendant form, the fully mature Kabutops, represents one of paleontology's most dramatic ontogenetic transformations. The adult stood upright, nearly 2 meters tall, having undergone a complete restructural metamorphosis. The dome shell flattened and redistributed dorsally. The scythe arms lengthened grotesquely. Most striking, it developed rudimentary air-breathing apparatus, suggesting it hunted in tidal zones, pursuing early tetrapods onto land. Bite marks on fossilized amphibians match perfectly with Kabutops' mandible spacing. Then there is Kabutos arthros, the spiral fossil lineage. Where Kabutops was ambush predator, Kabuto was scavenger. Its helical shell provided 360-degree sensory coverage via pressure-sensitive ridges. The organism could detect carrion from kilometers away through chemical receptors along its ventral surface. Upon reaching adulthood as Kabutops, this species became an apex predator, its blade arms capable of generating over 800 psi of slicing force, sufficient to cleave through bone. Moving forward 100 million years, we arrive at the Cretaceous, and here, fossilized in volcanic ash, we find Aerodactylus rex, the terror of prehistoric skies. This was no dinosaur, but rather a hyper-specialized pterosaur with a 3-meter wingspan and a cranial crest of hollow bone that may have functioned in echolocation. The jaw, lined with interlocking serrated teeth, could exert bite forces rivaling modern crocodilians. Aerodactyl's wings were not simple membranes. Microscopic analysis reveals a complex vascular network capable of rapid thermoregulation, allowing it to hunt in both equatorial heat and high-altitude cold. The tail, tipped with a fluke-like structure, served as both rudder and weapon. Fossilized prey animals show puncture wounds consistent with aerial grappling. Aerodactyl would strike from above, impaling fish or small dinosaurs, then carry them to cliffside nests. Most chilling, evidence suggests they hunted in coordinated groups. Bone beds in Japan contain dozens of juvenile Aerodactyl remains alongside mutilated oviraptor skeletons, implying cooperative ambush tactics. Rewinding further, 400 million years, we enter the Devonian seas, domain of the cephalopods. Omanyte spiralis, the helix fossil organism, was an ammonite of unusual behavioral complexity. Its chambered shell, filled with precisely regulated gas mixtures, allowed for sophisticated buoyancy control. But unlike passive filter feeders, Omanyte was an active predator. Tentacles equipped with barbed suckers could taste prey before consuming it. and a beak of crystalline calcium could shear through trilobite armor. The adult form, Omastar, grew to grotesque proportions, shells exceeding 1 meter in diameter. But size came at a cost. The creature's own shell weight anchored it to the benthos, transforming it into an ambush predator. It would bury itself in sediment, then explode upward when prey passed overhead, tentacles spreading like a nightmarish flower. Fossilized stomach contents reveal it consumed anything: fish, crustaceans, even smaller Omanyte. At the edge of recorded life, 540 million years ago, we encounter something truly alien. Anorithus primordialis, the claw fossil species, predates even fish. This arthropod possessed 8 legs, compound eyes with over 15,000 facets, and feeding appendages so complex they required 200 million years of evolution to produce. It filter-fed in tropical reefs, scraping algae with mandibles that would later evolve into the stuff of nightmares. Armaldo, its adult stage, was among the first animals to experiment with terrestriality. Standing a meter tall on hardened legs, it could survive hours outside water, hunting early invertebrates in coastal zones. The enlarged claws, each the size of a human forearm, could punch through the shells of contemporaneous predators. This was not merely an animal, it was an evolutionary prototype, the blueprint for every arthropod that would follow. The Jurassic gifted us with the pachycephalosaurs, thick-skulled herbivores engineered for combat. Cranidos ferreus possessed a skull cap 30 centimeters thick, reinforced with honeycomb bone structures that could absorb impacts exceeding 2 tons of force. Males would collide headfirst at speeds of 25 kilometers per hour during mating displays. The sound, witnesses claim, echoed across valleys. Its counterpart, Shieldon feros, took the opposite evolutionary path: defense through architecture. Its facial armor, a solid plate of fused bone and keratin, rendered it nearly impervious to predation. Fossilized Tyrannosaurus teeth have been found snapped off against Shieldon neck frills. Both species matured into even more formidable forms. Rampardos, with its battering ram skull, could splinter trees to access insects. Bastiodon formed defensive phalanxes, overlapping shields to protect young, cooperative behavior rare in reptiles. Finally, we arrive at the late Cretaceous, 65 million years ago. Here roamed Tyrantus rex, a juvenile tyrannosaurid with disproportionately powerful jaws. Even at 1 meter tall, it could generate bite forces exceeding 1 ton. The jaw fossil reveals replacement teeth growing continuously. This animal was built to bite, and bite often. Tyrantrum, the adult, was a 6-meter apex predator with jaws capable of crushing bone into powder. Fossilized dung contains pulverized skeletal remains, suggesting it consumed prey whole, armor and all. Alongside it lived Amora glacialis, a sauropod adapted to polar environments. Its skin contained chromatophores capable of bioluminescence, possibly for communication during months-long Arctic nights. The sail-like structures along its spine were not ornamental, but radiators, dispersing metabolic heat in frozen tundras. Aurorus, its adult form, stood 12 meters tall, with a vocalization range extending into infrasound. Fossilized trackways suggest herds moved in matriarchal groups, the elders leading migrations across ice bridges between continents. And then, 65 million years ago, the asteroid struck. These magnificent lineages, perfected across eons, vanished. But Their genes, locked in amber and stone, have now been coaxed back into daylight. Whether resurrection is triumph or hubris, only time will tell.